What's going on, guys? My name's Spence,
I'm Mitch.
and we're two brothers that really love King of the Hill. And today we're on episode 6 of season 2, Husky Bobby. And
That's right, Husky Bobby. This is one that Spencer thinks, well, not one of his favorite episodes. And we were just talking about the passage of time and how some things hold up and some things don't. And then this is an episode that probably didn't hold up very well.
yeah, it's not like I dislike this episode or anything like that. I just think
Oh, that's not what I meant.
I just think it's a mediocre one. But like you said, I feel like the themes have aged poorly. There's a lot more acceptance of this kind of husky body type in this day and age than there was back then.
And he would almost be like an Instagram influencer or something today.
Yeah, and that is something that I think this episode does, and that is more relatable, that there's a lot of kids that are hungry for fame, and they're on Instagram, they're doing whatever it takes, and it's almost like to be famous these days, doing whatever it takes is seen as the way to go. Whereas back in the day, you need to actually have a skill or be good at something. You need to be like a Shakespeare.
Talent?
Or have a talent, be a talented musician. But now, these days, you can get fucking famous for making a dick-sucking joke, and everyone will think it's hilarious and give you $1 million for some reason.
Yeah. It's not that hard to get your 15 minutes of fame.
Yeah, you just got to sell your dignity to do it a lot of times.
Yeah, what's wrong with that, though?
Yeah, who needs dignity?
I can live without it.
But we see that Bobby is struggling to put on pants in the regular store, and Hank and Peggy are allergic to the fact that there is another store which sells clothes that are much more in line with Bobby's body type. Bobby here is very confused because he thinks like his parents are taking him out behind the shed or something.
Old Yeller style. Do they still have stores like this, or is everything just all together?
They do.
No.
I'm pretty sure they do still have specialty clothes stores, but these days, for those kind of specialty clothes, I think most people buy them online and shit like that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no shame there.
This quote,
What do you think about that, boy?
Why do they have to expand so much?
Oh, I don't know, for sports and skateboarding and things like that. A juvenile is always stretching his clothes, you see.
These kids don't look like they like sports.
and it's definitely would be heartbreaking to, as a kid, to be allergic to the fact that you're a heavier body type and you have to go to a special
Yeah.
store to find your clothes.
Like Peggy's giant feet.
But Bobby accepts his new reality very quickly because they got a lot of great clothes for him, and they fit, as he says, remarkably well.
And Peggy are just trying to be proud of him, eh?
Yeah, he dresses up good, and he's having a great time.
Those are some sad realities of being a parent, though.
Yeah.
Situations like that, jeez. Those are the ones you don't prepare yourself for, right?
Oh, 100%. Yeah. Trying to have to deal with those kind of conversations with your children, having to deal with their flaws and everything like that. This guy, his head actually looks like an egg.
I know, he looks like a hell dumpty, that's for sure. Got the parted mustache.
But the owner of the store comes in and tells Bobby that he enjoys his excitement, the way his clothes look on him, so much that he wants to make him a model and show off his clothes, be in advertisements and all that kind of great stuff. And we see another parent and child having the same conversation they did with Bobby, but Hank shuts that down. He's not very enthusiastic about that at all.
I don't think I would have had the same reaction as Hank
Yeah.
to that.
I don't know. I don't know how I would react. I don't think I'd have the same reaction as Hank, but I know I wouldn't be super enthusiastic either. I'd probably more begrudgingly accept it.
More worried about exploitation.
That's true, especially
Yeah.
for a young kid. Oh, man, these photos. Okay. Yeah, if I saw these photos with my kid, I would definitely be.
He's shaking.
I would literally be shaking. And especially because Bobby went and did it behind Hank's back, so he's doubly pissed off.
Really seeing it from Hank's perspective there.
Yeah. Especially some of those pictures of like him having his bottom showing. That must be some sort of that close to illegal.
I don't-
Like,
That's for sure illegal.
yeah.
But how about to this blast from the past, Hank pulling out all the papers, all the advertisement from his friends' papers?
Yeah, no kidding. Last time, I can't remember the last time I seen a paper. Yeah, they're a dying industry for sure.
We need that pulp and paper for other stuff, like Amazon packaging.
Yeah, exactly. Bobby is so proud of his first advertisement that he's cutting out all the pictures and saving them. and no one can understand Hank's perspective.
That's a weird one to me because our dad was always against the exploitation of children. Now I can just see it from a mile away.
Now we see why Hank is so against this, because he would be the guy who'd be making fun of Bobby when he was a kid.
That's also true for me.
He would know, right, what would be coming down the pipeline for him.
That's right. That is not pretty.
But Hank and Peggy are at odds here, and Peggy does not see where Hank's coming from, and she is all on board, all in for Bobby's modeling career.
Peggy's opinion definitely aged better than Hank's, but Hank is 100% right about don't exploit my fucking kid.
Bobby gets an agent. Talk about scum of the earth, eh? That's one of those type of jobs that's just like, you got to be a real dirtbag to be an agent.
You got to have a real lack of ethics, a certain personality type.
And he believes that Bobby can be the next big thing in boys plus size fashion modeling, which I did not know was such a competitive industry.
Bobby has to stay in shape for his modeling career.
Yeah, I think that's a hilarious twist on what most models have to do. But yeah, he's got to keep his figure up.
He can't throw the football around with his old man.
Now you're not going to take care of yourself anymore because people are celebrating you for not taking care of yourself effectively. And this would grind my gears as a father, though, for Bobby to pay somebody else to do his work for him.
Oh, yeah. You can't. No, yeah.
I would be so pissed off. One of my kids did something like that.
Doing the work yourself is like the most important lesson in life.
It's true, yeah. It's
like number one.
Yep, teaching people to be self-sufficient and how to get the job done on their own is extremely important. And now Hank's friends are also ripping on him, and this is a constant theme in the series where Hank's friends rip on him when something happens that they can make fun of him for, and Hank always takes it super personally.
Thank God this is still a cultural norm, though. I think we need that. It keeps us all honest.
Yeah, it's true with your friends to be honest with you. And
our family is pretty fucking bad for chirping each other, too.
I love these kind of fish out of water scenes for Hank in the last place where he would have any kind of common ground with anybody.
He's physically frightened by these people.
But Bobby's right at home.
I could never, ever do this kind of shit.
Yeah, I don't really want to make my mark on the world by having people just take pictures of me. I don't want my claim to fame to be the fact that I existed, and that's it.
I was born, and now I look like this. Blue Eye's obviously really excited about this because she's in the beauty industry at this point in the timeline anyways.
And there is definitely a kind of sense of pride I can see from Peggy's perspective about seeing your son be the center of attention and people wanting to pay him money for modeling and stuff like that. There's definitely some pride there.
I don't think that the dad often pushes the kid into modeling.
Yeah. She gets like validation that's, I'm not the only one that thinks my boy is handsome type of thing.
I didn't think of that, yeah.
He loves getting his picture taken. Me, on the other hand, I generally despise getting my picture taken.
Same here.
Yeah. But for whatever reason, I'm no problem appearing on camera, like getting actually filmed, but I hate having my photograph taken for me.
Weird.
Yeah, it is weird. And Hank pulls him out here, and everybody is trying to get Hank to change his mind. And nope, he's set in stone.
And he's got good right to be. When me and Silk watched this episode, she did the exact same thing that happened to Lan there. Like that same day. Silk got her hair stuck in the door.
The door.
Yeah.
And Bobby's going in alone. Doesn't care what Hank says. And it's hard to blame him because he doesn't see the bigger picture. And for him, it's like, everybody wants me to be there. They're excited for me to be there. But my old man's being a stick in the mud, so screw him.
My old man doesn't know what he's talking about. I've said that a few times growing up.
Yeah, me too. Big time. This is a great scene.
I'm in a crisis situation here. I gotta go find Bobby. You two take turns kicking each other's asses.
This episode does definitely have a few good one-liners for sure. Hank driving like his life depends on it right now.
He fills up with 91 octane.
But we have the world's most quintessential bully, Dooley, showing up, and we all know what is on his mind.
I think that hostess should have let him in.
No, they definitely should have let him in.
No, I think any realistic hostess would have been Seeing that coming.
Bobby meets his arch nemesis, Andy Maynard, the #1 plus-sized fashion kids model. And he's a total douchebag, absolute douchebag, as you would expect.
A quintessential model. There's the beauty of owning a truck right there.
Like they got the little whale for the fucking fat kids fashion show.
Classic.
But Bobby's agent got him to go out first. And it's a huge deal because Andy's all busted up about it. But unfortunately for Bobby, he's never, or well, more fortunately for him in this case, he's never going to get the opportunity to go out first because Hank stops him before he can even take his first step.
But what will Andy Maynard think?
I'll tell you what Andy Maynard thinks. Andy Maynard always goes on first.
But Andy gets his wish, and he gets to go out first at the end of the day.
And Bobby gets drug out, kicking and screaming.
But in this case, he's first in the crosshairs.
Some fucking modeling face.
Like we talked about at the beginning of the episode, I feel like something like this, where all these guys, they start throwing donuts and shit at the models. I feel like that gets shut down real quick these days. Security, fucking police would come in and shut that down. And
It'd be shut down before it ever started.
yeah, and if it did start, these people would be roasted constantly online.
Oh, God, yeah, on Facebook groups.
He uses them as a human shield.
Yeah, it's a play on war movies.
Oh, yeah, exactly. It's a great fucking little gag here.
Andy Maynard.
It's high casualty event.
Yeah, it was a pretty good ambush.
But now Bobby is thankful that his dad saved him from that. And nowadays, the worst that would happen is there'd be people that might roast him online. They'd probably get some hateful comments online, but I don't think there'd be anybody brazen enough to actually throw food at him.
No, I don't think so.
So that brings us to the end of Husky Bobby. At the end of the day, it's a funny episode, but hasn't aged that gracefully. So what do you give it out of a 10, Mitch?
I'll give her an 8.
An 8? I'll go 1 point below you and give her a 7.
Okay, sounds fair.
Yeah, it's never an episode that, unlike especially because we just came off of one of the all-time greatest King of the Hill episodes in our last review. Putting this back to back, this one just feels like very mediocre in comparison.
That's a really good one coming up next.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, that brings us to the end of episode 6 for season 2. And I hope you join us next week because, as Mitch mentioned, we have another all-time classic. And that's The Man Who Shot Kane Skitterberg. Is that his fucking Skretterberg. And that is definitely one you won't want to miss.
Alrighty, thanks for watching.
See you guys next time. Take her easy.
My lifetime average is still higher than yours, mister. Or have you forgotten Solo Flex?
All right, no need to bring that up.
Don't worry, Peggy. I'll use it every day. It's cheaper than going to the gym.
Okay, you've made your point.
Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, chest, shoulder, and back.
Okay,